So this is the lower back protocol, level 2. So for this, we're going to need a bench or box or couch, something to elevate your heels for the lower back push down with the legs elevated 90-90 position. We'll need either a pillow or a couple pads and then a ball. So we're going to start off in this one for level 2 with the 90-90 lower back push down. So make sure we lay down flat on our back on the ground with our calves elevated up around 90 degrees. So for me, I need to add the cushions here. Should be taking away the weight of our legs. And we are going to go 1 minute in this position, and we're going to work on keeping that back in that happy spot. And we're breathing in through our nose, out our mouth. So I'm going to set my timer. All right, so we're going to go 1 minute here. Start the timer. We're breathing in through our nose, out our mouth, pushing that back into the ground flat, getting that feedback, making sure our knees are right around 90, hips right around 90. But the idea is just the box is going to take the weight of your legs out of the equation, and it should be a nice, safe spot for your lower back here. And we're just pushing down, breathing in through our nose, out our mouth. And remember, if you're feeling a little bit too tight, just go back to that level 1 protocol until we're starting to feel a little bit better, until we're in that mid-range of movement. Just make sure we're pushing down, breathing in through our nose, out our mouth. Trying to relax here. We just got 1 minute. All right, so we have 15 more seconds left here. We're just pushing, breathing, holding this position. Keep that neck neutral the best we can. And with each exhale, we're trying to get long through our spine. Kind of keeping a little bit of a double chin. All right, so that's about a minute. If we need to keep going a little bit longer, you can hang out here for a little bit longer. Now we're going to take our ball, and we're going to go 1 minute on each side of our back. So you're going to make sure you position that ball on the soft tissue just above your SI joint, above your back dimple, but not on your spine. So it should be on the muscles. All right, so it's a little bit 1 or 2 inches above your SI joint, and then like 1 or 2 inches out from your spine. So we're on that one side, and we're pushing down and around that ball and breathing. So each breath in through our nose, try to breathe down on that ball. Exhale, we're trying to relax the muscles around that ball. So we're going to go 1 minute just breathing with the ball on one side. So start it up. And you don't actually have to get your back flat all the way around it, but the goal is to let it kind of push into those muscles. And initially, your muscles are going to resist it, but try to relax with each exhale around that ball. Let your back accept that ball. And we're going to breathe 1 minute each side. In through our nose, out our mouth, and try to really breathe into that area around that ball. If you're not too tight in that spot, I'd work on moving the ball a little bit, maybe move it out an inch or two, trying to find either more comfortable or that tighter spot if we're feeling a little bit better. And breathing in through our nose, out our mouth. And remember, if the lacrosse ball is a little too stiff, start with that tennis ball and work your way to that lacrosse ball. Here we go. So we have about 10 more seconds here. In through our nose, out our mouth. And again, remember, you can stay on these breathing exercises longer if you need to. Out our mouth. Here we go. Got 2, 1. Awesome. Now we're going to transition that ball over to the other side. Let's try not to have to do it too awkwardly. Pick the ball up, go around. Then we'll get the other side of our lower back. And we're pushing down, breathing, finding that spot. We have 1 minute. Set. Go. Here we go, guys. In through our nose, out our mouth. Remember, with each exhale, trying to get that longer spine. And breathing in around that ball. And trying to get those muscles to relax around it. In through our nose, and out our mouth. Each exhale, let that ball sink a little bit deeper. There you go. Just keep trying to breathe in. Again, remember, move it a little bit to the side if you need to. Make sure it's not on any bone. It's on the muscle. We have 25 more seconds here. In through our nose, into that area. Out our mouth, crushing that ball down, having it dig into our back. We're relaxing with each exhale. In through our nose. Out our mouth. Here we go. We have 5 seconds. Right, awesome. So today, we're going to do that pillow crush again. We're going to go just about 2, 3-second crushes with their knees. So either with your pillow that's a little bit wider or with a couple cushions. You can kind of leave your legs up on the bench if you want to for this. And we're going to try to crush that cushion as hard as you can just for about 3 seconds, okay? So you can keep everything else flat. And I'm going to crush, 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 crush. 2, 1, relax. Take a breath or two. We're going to do that one more time. You should feel your groin fire up. We're going to crush again, set, go, crush, 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 2, 1, and we relax. Awesome. And now we're going to carefully transition onto the ground. So now we're going to go back into 5 knee drops each side. So make sure you pivot off your couch, your ottoman carefully. Keep our head flat on the ground, and we'll let our knees drop side to side. So I'm going to go ahead and move this bench. Now I move the bench. We're going to have 5 knee drops each side. We're going to lay down, feet flat on the ground, and we'll let knees drop from one side over to the other, nice and easy. You can keep a T with your arms as we rotate side to side. Just breathing through, we're going to have 5 drops each side. Nice and controlled, nice and careful. Once we get 5 on both sides, letting our knees just drop, relax into it, hold a little bit longer if you need to, we're going to do pelvic rotations. So pelvic rotation, you're going to try to keep your rib cage down the ground, make sure your chest isn't pushing up, and we're going to work on creating an arch with our back by rotating our hips down carefully, and then smushing that arch in by rotating back carefully. So as you first start off with this, we're just going to go nice and controlled. Don't push the ranges of motion. Just own the range of motion you have that is pain-free. So we rotate our hips away, create an arch. We rotate back, smush that back flat to the ground. Rotate away, create that arch, and then rotate back, smush down. Okay, so it's all in your hips, rotating away and pushing back, keeping that chest flat. So we're going to go 10 pelvic rotations, pushing that back flat each time. Trying to learn how to get your hips in position and own the range of motion that you have the ability to do right now. Make sure each time you put a little more pressure on the ground. That should be a nice, happy spot, feeling your core activate a little bit, pushing down. And then the other exercise we're going to have here is going to be a cat-cow. Okay, we're just going to go 5 of each today. So you're going to carefully get on all fours. So hands should be directly under our shoulders, knees directly under our hips. Make sure our toes stay tucked. And we're going to work on flossing our spine in this position. So we're going to drop our head down, and we're going to try to push our mid back up, and we tuck our bum under slightly, and I really push the ground away. I'm trying to push that mid back up to the sky. And then when I pull my back in, my hips are rotating down, and I'm bringing my head up. So I'm trying to get that flossing action with the spine, and I'm pushing through the ground the entire time. My arms shouldn't really be bending. I shouldn't be shifting forward and backwards too much. And if we're in a small range of motion, that is perfectly fine. We're just trying to get some light movement in our spine. And as we get better, we're trying to gain some more range of motion, a little more control over the musculature around our spine. We're going to go 5 cat-cows. And then once we finish the 5th one there, we can go back to those pelvic rotations on the ground. So it's a very similar movement between the two. But today we're just going to go 2 rounds of the pelvic rotations in those cat-cows, just trying to get some light movement through that spine, get some blood flow to the area.